Okay, what's up? This is Micki from Real Rap Graffiti Podcast. I got Jaye Da Hustla on here tonight. What's up?
Mm-hmm. What's happening? What's
Nothing much.
going on?
Nothing much. Um, First of all, you want to introduce yourself so that the people that may not know about you let them know who you are tonight.
For sure, man. What's happening, world? You heard me. Hello, I am Jaye Da Hustla, aka Mr. Free Smoke Friday. You heard me, and man, I'm giving it to you raw and uncut. You heard me, raw. RAW, real always win. Believe that.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
let us know what you're working on right now.
Oh man, so many things. Where do I start? You heard me. Let's just start with right now. You know what I mean? I'm about to drop an EP called Gunsmoke. You know what I'm saying? To follow up my Smoke series. You know what I mean? Earlier this year on March 2nd, I dropped an EP called Smoke. You know what I'm saying? And it was produced in its entirety by Nayo Da Vinci. May he rest in peace. You know what I mean? A producer from this city who met his untimely demise early this year.
Yeah,
You
rest in
know, right
peace.
before I
Hi,
put
y'all.
that project out.
You have any artists that you collaborate with right now? Anything?
Yeah, man, as a matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? On the last project, on the last Smoke EP, you know what I mean? I didn't have any artists on there. I just solo. On this one, you know what I mean? I got an artist that I'm working with. I'm involved in her situation and everything that's going on with her right now. Just A&R in her situation, making sure she's in the right places, you know what I mean, with the right people so she can make the best music possible. And her name is The Real Snow Bunny. You know what
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
I've seen her. She nice. You
Yeah, man.
female
Dope.
artist. That's
Dope.
what's up. She nice.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
my question is, what inspired you to be an artist?
Oh man, really, I just want like I knew that I wasn't good at football. I knew I wasn't good in baseball. You know what I'm saying? I tried, I tried dancing, right, until Willie Puckett came in American Legion Hall one day and shut that shit down. You heard me, and all the women went to him, so I knew that wasn't for me no more because I like the women. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I gotta find something that's for me. You know what I'm saying? And I always had a love for words. Period. You know what I mean? I love words, period. I have a very broad vocabulary and I just love words. So with that being said, I was putting words together and one of my partners knew about it. And he was like, yo, I know y'all fat from UNLV. You know what I'm saying? He was like, if I take you to him, spit that shit. So he took me to him, I spit that shit, and the rest was history, man. Y'all had a label at the time called Hard Time Records, and they put me in the game, you know what I mean? My first show was in Shakespeare Park in the Magnolia Projects, and once I saw that reaction, it was a wrap. I knew what I wanted to do.
Okay, so what sets you apart as an artist from New Orleans from most artists, as far as
Uh,
just your talent, your music, your creativity, everything? What sets you apart? Like, what makes you that unique artist compared to most in the city?
One thing about it is just it's very in the essence of self-explanatory as you said it. I am an artist. They have a lot of rappers in the city. They have a lot of people that rap. They have a lot of people that spit. You know what I mean? But they're it's definitely a good handful of artists. You
Right.
know, and, you know what I'm saying? And I think the difference is, you know what I mean? A rapper, he paints a picture about some things, and those things are limited because it's what he see or what he went through is very personal. But me as an artist, I paint pictures about everything.
Right. That's a
You,
good answer for that.
yes, you
Um,
cannot put me in no box because I can't put myself in the box. You know what I
right.
mean?
Right. You have to be diverse with everything.
Definitely,
I mean,
definitely, and
um,
and
that's
and
a
just
plus.
that, I just want to add to that. Also, you know what I mean. The way to diversify my portfolio is imperative to my artistry. You know what I mean. With that being said, I created a television show called Smoke Cypher Saturday.
Mm,
I also have another platform where I do Free Smoke Fridays, which is
yeah.
freestyles every Friday, and that's
And
been for the
I was
last.
about to ask you about that. I was about to ask you, like, what was your purpose in creating that platform, and how did you come up with that concept to do that, and so because I know some people know about it, but not many artists know about it, especially a lot of upcoming artists.
Right, definitely. Yep. Well, Freestyle Friday. I mean, Free Smoke Friday is every Friday. I do it every Friday. You know what I mean, at 6 o'clock. It used to be 9, but now at 6. And how I came up with that, man. After my twins, my beautiful baby boys were born, I found myself very stagnant because I had to be there every second, just like I gotta be there now. You know what I mean? I make it my business. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, I became very stagnant, very unproductive. and I just saw people going wild over things that I knew I was better at. You know what I mean? So I hear some stuff and I'm like, I could do better. You know, not knocking the person that did it, but I just feel that confident in myself. So one day I did it, and I just so happened to hashtag it Free Smoke Friday. Well, when that thing, you know what I mean, hit and I put it up, I got more response, more likes, more comments, more engagement than I ever had. So I said, I'm gonna keep this going. About week 7, you know what I mean, I finally put the pressure on myself and said I'm not gonna stop. And here we are, fast forward to week 75. That's a year and a half in a row, consecutively, no breaks in between.
That's good, because most people start those platforms and they don't be consistent with building those platforms, or even, you know, just investing in their time and being just consistent all together around the board. So that's good.
Definitely.
So
Thank you.
yeah, so my question is, I usually ask everybody this in the city, what you feel as though that's holding New Orleans back as a whole when it comes to upcoming artists and us actually getting back at the top where, like it was in the early '90s, when it came down to our culture, music.
Definitely unity, definitely. You know, you could poke a person all day, you know what I'm saying, and if you poke a, gonna be like, man, move. You poke a female that's digging, she gonna be like, boy, stop. But if you take that one finger and then you add another thing, and then you got this, and then you ball that up and put it as tight as you can, that poke is gonna become a punch and make way more damage and cause a bigger effect than that little poke. And right now we just poking.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we looking at each other as competition instead of corporation.
Right. And that was
you know
my thing, because I look at like a lot of different things, and I try to connect with a lot of different people in a lot of different cities like Atlanta, Florida, and so on. And I noticed that the work ethics are different compared to here. You might have very few here that are collab together, but I noticed that here is not. They don't do it as a city. You have individuals that's going depending on which ward you're from, or if you're from the West or East Bank. Which if you go to Florida, Atlanta, them guys don't do that. They operate together as one. All they look at is that they're trying to make money. So
definitely,
that's my thing. I'm like, why is New Orleans so divided? Like, when did this occur?
Yeah, I mean, I think it occurred from our nature. You know what I mean? Our nature is just to naturally be competitive. That's what makes us so great, right? You know what I mean? But it could be a great thing, and it also can be to our detriment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And right now it is to our detriment, so much so to the fact that we have other people with our sound, and not knocking them, you know what I'm saying? But we have other people with our sound, and we're not even taking advantage of it or getting the most recognition.
Right. And that's all. New Orleans should be one of the top cities in the world when it comes to music, period.
So yes, but the lack of unity stops it.
There's too much talent here. And another thing that I look at too, you could go into any major city, they have record companies in those cities, offices set up. We don't have that here. So that was my main thing too. Like, okay, we had, 2 major companies that come from out of New Orleans. Why don't we have a home office here in New Orleans where you can actually, teach these people and educate them on certain different things with the business and so on. So that was always the question for me.
Yeah, I mean, because the world is pushed by independence right now, right? You know what I mean? It used to hear everybody say, I got to get signed. I got to get signed. I got to get a deal. I got to get a deal. You don't hear nobody say that no more. You know what I mean? You hear people say, I'm independent. I'll sign you. I'll sign myself. You know what I'm saying? And once again, that can be a double-edged sword. It can be to your benefit or it could be to your detriment. You have to know when to be independent, and you have to know when to click up and make allies. You know what I'm saying?
But my thing is, with independent, to be an independent artist, you have to have that funding behind you to push you as an independent artist. Because some people go an independent artist, but they don't have that funding to back them up. So it's like you invest in all this time where you're really not going anywhere as far as your creativity and so on, because you don't have that funding to back you up. So that's my thing as far as the independent artist.
Yeah, and that's what
they don't do the deals like they used to do back in the day. Also,
not at all, not at all. And I mean, that's where I ain't gonna lie, I can't say this enough. I'm probably gonna say this 1,000 more times during this interview. It's all because of the lack of unity. You know what I mean? I stayed in Atlanta for 10 years after the hurricane. When everybody, I had a lot of things shaking. As well as in the street as well. You know what I'm saying? And needless to say, I did time in their penitentiary out there. And even in a penitentiary, they have unity. So they get things done faster at a more productive rate. because you can get things done faster with a team than you could by yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So what do
their
you
clique
think,
of teams are not individual.
what do you think needs to happen to have our city come together as one to get on the same page? Because honestly, before the pandemic, me and my brother, shout out to Street Kings Music.
Yes, shout out to Street Kings, man.
We was collabing and coming up with different things. He did one year, he did a producer's lounge, but we was coming up with something where we was gonna do the producer's lounge, but it was gonna also be collaborating with the artists so everyone could network together. But then that was supposed to happen in April, then the pandemic happened and everything else, so we put that
right.
I just felt like a lot of things we had back in the day, the platforms, you know, you had 9 o'clock props, you had
yes.
you know, Teen Summit, you had Fat and all that. We had all those black platforms artists out, and it's like we don't have that. So my question is, what can we do to get it back where it used to be, where local artists here and breaking artists could have that platform to get them more exposure, so we could keep them home in our city to help our city out musically to excel.
Right. Definitely. And I'm so glad you brought that up, man, because, you know what I mean, I think I definitely took the initial step for that. I think I definitely moved a foot forward toward that direction with Smoke Cypher Saturday. You know what I mean? Once again, my hip hop television that I television show that I created it because of the pandemic. You know, like I said early in the interview, I dropped the Smoke EP March 2nd. Here we are at the beginning of the April with the pandemic telling you can't go outside. Now, if I can't go outside, how am I going to promote this new project I dropped in less than a month ago?
So do you feel, so let me ask you this. Do you feel as though right now, you feel as though that the internet is influencing the music industry in a positive or negative way? Can you still hear me? It looks like it froze up.
Hey.
I was waiting.
Well, I didn't know what happened.
Yeah, I was still talking and it looked like it just froze up.
All right. I'm so sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay. It happens.
Yeah. Back to that question. The internet is the respiratory system for the industry right now. The music industry is on life support. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because it is through live performance that artists are able to sell their merchandise. It is through live performance that they are able to convey their future endeavors to their fans, so their fans could be alert and ready to go when they're ready to move. Without these live performances, there's no way to get this message across besides the internet.
Right.
You know, right now you got artists. If you see right now, pay attention to the game. Right, I'm a student of the game. Pay attention to the game. All the major artists, you'll see them saying tag a dope artist, tag a dope artist. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Not saying that they never cared before, but all of a sudden they got a heart.
Right.
All of a sudden they want to help.
Right.
The guy who's Joe Schmo.
They said this
just to do. You know what I'm saying? just a couple of months ago, you run up on them, talk to my manager. You can't even spit for these niggas. You know what I'm saying? Because they got security fucking about to kill you, just like these racist cops.
Right. I
You
know
know
an individual that I've talked to a few times, which is Chris from ETCO Rap a Lot. Shout out to Chris. Me and him talked a few times, and that's the only individual that I know for a fact that's not from New Orleans who have always collabed with other artists outside the city and would just listen to them. If you hit him up and send him a song, he gonna tell you I'll listen to it, and he gonna play it on live for other people to listen. And that's why I respect him. Dope. That's something he's been doing from day one. He didn't just start doing it. He been doing it.
He didn't use it as a hustle. It came from his heart.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's one person I do respect. So as far as our city, where do you see our city going as far as the music industry during and after COVID? Do you feel as though that we will excel after COVID, or do you feel as though it will hurt us more?
I think the hustlers will excel. And what I mean by a hustler is you know what I mean? I don't mean the term of somebody that sells drugs, but a hustler that can sell anything, right? So they always figure it out. Natural born entrepreneurs, you know, being an entrepreneur, 90% of things go wrong, only 10% go right. So that 90%, you got to figure it out. And when you figure it out, it looks great to the people. They never knew what was going wrong. So that's what we have to do now. We have to be innovators. We have to be creators. We have to be trailblazers, because right now we're all on the even playing field, whether big artists or small artists know it or not. Everybody's equal now, because they can't go out there and make their money. That's why they want to tag dope artists, because they know you need us. You need that energy. You need something new.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think
that everybody should be coming up with different ideas to make money, because you have a lot of time to think, a lot of downtime. Because honestly, this is the first time that I actually had I was in retail management for years, so I'm glad that I had a lot of downtime to do a lot of things that I haven't been able to do. But it also made me think on a creative side with doing different things and working on different projects. So that's why I asked you that question, because I see a lot of people on live now more than ever.
Right?
Doing, a lot of different things, promoting, reaching out, trying to collab with different people. So I think that's a plus. I think in a sense it hurt us in a sense, but it's a blessing in another sense.
Oh yeah. You know what? It didn't and I mean this with no malice or shade toward the people that it did hurt. You know what I mean? And I'm praying for them just like I'm praying for myself.
Right.
But for me, it only enhanced my hustle. It only made me creative. Then it put me in a space where I'm the most comfortable, where I know everybody else is uncomfortable, and that's creating. Right. You know what I mean? It's because of this downtime that I came up with the platform Smoke Cypher Saturday. You know what I mean? Smoke Cypher Saturday is a platform based on virtual concerts. And if you ask me, it is my firm belief that the future of this music industry, I'm going to say it now and say it again, is virtual concerts. And I have successfully this year alone put on 11 virtual concerts, 10 of them being the episodes of Smoke Cypher Saturday.
Right. And I could agree with that, because I was looking at something the other day and they was asking like who will participate in a virtual concert, and they had like everything set up on platforms and everything. So I do think, a lot of stuff is turning into technology. Even when it comes to looking in stores, I see Walmart is talking about bringing machines in, all machines instead of the cashier. So technology is when it comes to any business nowadays. It's just sad that a lot of people with COVID, I feel like there's a lot of people now, this is the time that you could tell the hustlers from the ones who's not used to getting out there hustling, because they don't know how to cope with dealing with COVID and then inside. So you just have to come up with different ways to hustle.
Definitely. I think, man, once again, I think virtual concerts is the wave, and it's the future, right? For more reasons than one. It's not only for the wave for the artist who wants to be outside and used to be and putting their feet on the pavement, but what about the artist that suffers from anxiety? You know what I mean? What about the artist that we don't know that suffers from anxiety, and he won't tell nobody or get no help, so now he self-medicates, and next thing you know, such and such who we love so much just overdose. Why is that?
Right.
Because he's dealing with problems, you know what I'm saying? And guess what? Maybe we need his art, but I don't want him to die to get the best of him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So not only will virtual concerts be the birth of a new wave in the industry, I think it will be the birth of a new artist. I think they will have a category where an artist would just be a virtual artist. I don't go nowhere. I don't do no meet and greets. And when I do, you will have to pay an astronomical number, and you already know people gonna show up because I don't come outside.
But that's honestly, that's a smart move though. With how technology going, that's a smart move to do. I mean,
Yes.
not too many will think of something like that. Um, do you feel as though to make it in the industry, an artist coming from New Orleans, do you feel as though that an artist would have to go outside of the city to be a breaking artist to actually get that break?
No, and I'm probably gonna get slaughtered for this, right? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what, you know what I mean? But however, that's I'm used to being ahead. You know what I'm saying? And I say that with all confidence, no cockiness. And you know what I mean? To back to, you know, what the subject was about, it's just like this, man. You have to make it pop wherever you at. It's not about where you from, it's about where you at, even if it's where you're from. You see what I'm saying? Because if you can't make no noise here, you ain't gonna make too much noise in Atlanta. Count LA out, count New York out, count Houston, Texas out, because these are places that are very massive and very big, you know, compared to New Orleans. You know what I mean? I think we, as artists from New Orleans, really do have to get out the city to see how small it is.
Mm-hmm.
That way, in essence, we'll see how much more work we have to do. We have a lot of work to do. And you can't be saying wait till I get out this city to do it. You can't say wait to nothing. You can't say when outside open back up. Come up with something inside.
Right.
We as artists, especially from New Orleans, cannot wait for opportunities. You have to create them.
Opportunities, right?
You know, I'm very adamant about that because you have a lot of things, and once again I might get slaughtered, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm very passionate about the needs of an artist because I too myself am an artist. I want to get treated right, and that's why I make sure any artist I deal with gets the same thing. And you have to know, ain't no sense of competing for no prize when you are the prize.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good saying. That's a good saying.
Yes.
That's good because most people don't think like that when it comes to them being an artist. A lot of people feel as though, and I've heard numerous of artists say this, that they feel as though they get more love outside of the city than they do here when they perform.
Right.
But I feel as though, like, when you go elsewhere to perform, I feel like it's a harder crowd in other cities than it is here because
Right.
they're used to the culture. And you might not feel as though you get that love, but in our city, we know our artists. We know who our artists
Right.
are just by their name. I can listen to certain artists before I know that's them and know that's them rapping on
That's them, yeah. You know their voice, yeah.
In my opinion, I think a lot of people look at the money. You know, everybody want to make money, but at the same time, sometimes you have to do stuff for the culture and come together and build at home before you go elsewhere. So that's my thing. Any advice you might have for any upcoming artists? How many years you have in the industry so far?
Oh man, I would want to say about 20. You know what I mean? I started when I was in high school. I started when I was in the 9th grade of high school. I graduated in 01. You know what I mean? You do the math. So that was like what, 98 to 99, 98, 99. You know what I mean? So that's a while. That's the day I walked into the meeting and got accepted, you know, by Lil Yachty and was like, fuck it, you can ride with us. The only nigga in the meeting in a De La Salle uniform though.
Wow.
And he had hard bottoms and everything with all these killers, gangsters, and hustlers. Ask Ramp. You know, Big Ramp, he know who was in there. Pinky, Wop, Jack, and Hardy. Salute them cats, you know what I'm saying? All legends in the street and this game. You know what I mean? So, but my advice for artists, you know what I'm saying? Don't wait for opportunities, create them. Also, you know what I mean? Stop listening to these myths. You know, you got to lead a city to blow. Okay, the person that's telling you that, did they do it? If not, why are you listening to them? You have to start using your brain. You know what I mean? And you have to start trailing, you know, you have to start blazing trails. You know, we ain't no time to follow nobody no more. You know what I'm saying? Gotta remember this game started on. This game is hip hop, right? It's the essence of hip hop. You ask yourself, what is hip hop? Hip hop is when everybody on the left, you stand to the right. If everybody got their hands down, you put your hands up. If everybody got their head to the front, otherwise, how are you gonna be different if everybody look like this?
Right.
How am I gonna spot you?
Right.
I might need to get you in a life or death situation. You look like everybody else, rap like everybody else, sound like everybody else. Your song's the same as everybody else. You have to be, yes, you know what I mean? And that's what the game has evolved to. So I'm not hating it. But at the same time, when are we gonna get something new?
Do you feel as though we have any younger artists that have potential right now? Anybody that you feel as though that's actually streaming that has a lot of potential?
Oh yeah, man. Streaming and unstreaming. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Streaming, cause I like I said, I'm a student of the game, and I go searching, I go digging, I go coal mining, cause I know that's where the diamonds at. I know the gold is in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? So so that's where you got to go to find them, and that's where you find your Nino Calvins. That's where you find your weed junkies. That's where you find your little icebergs. That's where you find your Kid the Beast. That's where you find, man, so many of these cats. I can go on the list for days. If I left you out, I apologize, but this beautiful woman ain't got all day. She got to work, but the list goes on. You know what I'm saying? So salute those cats, man. They out here grinding, working, and you know what I'm saying? Me being a lyricist and them being trap rappers, I love it because I am music. You can't put people in that categories, and if you love it, you got to learn to appreciate everything about it.
Right. Well, um, really, that was my last question. Most of the stuff you basically answered in the beginning before I could really ask you. Um, the only thing that I could say to end this is that from where I'm looking, I feel as though it was just different in the music industry with artists like yourself, artists like Street King Music, other artists, because you all had older people in the game to look up to who actually was able to educate y'all. A lot of
Yep.
the younger generation now really, from what I see, they really headstrong. They're not humble enough to listen to certain things. You have very few, but
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I feel as though for the new generation, I feel as though that's what's hurting them. A lot of
Right.
them need to humble themselves and get more educated with the artistry side instead of the street side and so on. Because you can't do
Definitely.
both. You have to do one or the other. So
Right. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. You have to make a choice because that's gonna limit your money. You're gonna stop your money. Let's not forget what this is about at the end of the day. If you beefing with such and such and he's on the side of town where they got $1 million at, you can't go over there.
right,
Nigga got $1 million wait for over you, but you beefing with such and such. What's that's gonna tell you? That's gonna tell you, man, I could have had $1 million today, but because of what I got going on with whatever, I can't go get that money. And I totally understand. I totally get it. But just like you say, at the end of the day, you gotta make a choice.
right.
Yeah,
Okay,
because that ain't gonna get you no money. It's gonna stop it.
right. Okay, Jim. It was nice chatting with you tonight. I
Thank you so
definitely
much.
enjoyed the interview. You did educate me on a lot of different things as far as you as an artist as well. Um, hopefully, we all could build something together and try to network to build a team here,
Yes, yes.
to try to
I'm
help
with it.
the younger generation and just to, guide them with, making more and more wiser business moves and so on. So
Right.
hopefully, we could come up with something once this pandemic is over. I have something in mind that I plan on doing. I'm gonna reach out to a lot of different artists and producers just
Hmm.
to try to get everybody on the same page because it's kind of
Right.
hard here when you have this person beefing with that person beefing with that person, or they
Yeah.
holding something, a grudge from the past.
Personal with it. Yeah.
Eventually, um, for those who are on board, I'm gonna contact those individuals and go from there.
Definitely.
Because like I want to get to a point where we could bring Team Summit back from the the younger generation.
Definitely.
That was one of my projects that I was working on. I want to
That
bring
they
it back.
because
Um,
we need it. We need it
yeah,
so
we
bad.
need, and I think just by that, that's a stepping stone. I feel as though once we do that, then we could take off with everything else. But it was nice
Right.
chatting
Definitely.
tonight. I will be in contact with you on some other different projects as well as some other ideas. So just keep in contact, and I'll keep in contact with you. I'm always supporting everybody. So it was
Thank you so much.
nice chatting with you tonight. And
Thank you. This interview
I'm
was great.
definitely
I really did have fun, man. And I just one more time, last but not least, I definitely got to say some artists. You know what I mean? I'm talking specifically to y'all. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. You know what I mean? Because I'm an artist, so I don't want nobody to feel like we was bashing them or we
right,
don't think that their perspective is where it needs to be. However, it is not, and I can tell you how to help though, because I'm never gonna criticize without giving my solution. You never tell somebody you got a problem. Well, what the fuck is the solution? You
right,
know what I mean? And definitely. So one way that we can get back to unity, and it's gonna start with an individual and then become unity,
Right.
Artists, we gotta check our egos at the door. I know you got them. I got them too. You know what I'm saying? I know you're competitive. I'm competitive in nature too. But being an older gentleman instead of a younger now, I see that there is no future in competition. You
Right.
know, you leave your competition in your field.
Right.
You know what I mean? Leave your competition in your field. You rap, you play ball, leave the competition in your field. But once you off that field, there's business to be conducted. You have to make sure your contract is right. You
Right.
have to make sure that if you break your knee on the field, that you're gonna be straight. You know what I
Right.
mean? So my solution for this is check your ego at the door. There's no money in competition. There's so much money in corporations.
Right. And the
You know
ego
what
is
I'm saying?
hurting them because a lot of record companies really don't want to deal with that.
Definitely, definitely. You know what I
Character
mean?
is everything. So
Yep, yeah.
at
So
the
it
end of the
takes
day,
relation. Hmm.
you have to build a team. You can't. You have to.
Have
No
to.
matter what you do, you need help from somewhere. No one can do it
Definitely.
by themselves.
Right. And it's not just specifically entitled to the people around you, not your friends or family. When I say team, I mean anybody doing something in your field and it look like they successful, check your ego at the door, man. How you doing what you doing? I get niggas DMs. I see artwork and you, man, who did your shit?
Right.
Who did you? How did you do that? Where did you go to get that done? Hey, bro, is there anything I can do for you? Always remember the easiest way to get anything from anybody is to give them something first.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the easiest way. I get a lot of things I need right now. And guess what? The things that I'm doing, people are like, damn, you must have spent a lot of money. Actually, my nigga, I didn't. You know what I did? I spent a lot of time cultivating relationships.
I was about to say building relationships. And you don't
Building
always want to
relationships.
have great relationships with people. You don't want to burn bridges because you never know when you have to cross it again. So
Definitely.
I I never burn
Definitely.
bridges, and I've always keep a business relationship with people.
Right. Definitely. It doesn't mean that you don't that you gotta be take shit. You know, I'd rather kick ass than kiss it. So with that being said, you know what I mean, if there's somebody that is burning the bridge, you have to stay on the side of right. If they saying fuck you, don't say fuck you back, even though that's a natural thing that we gonna do. Be like, even if you do feel that way, still we on this side of the field. You know what I mean? Get them back on the field. You know what I mean? When we on this side of the field, damn, I'm sorry you feel that way, my brother.
Right.
I'm sorry you feel that way, my sister, especially in this era.
There's too much opportunity out here for everybody not to be making money and coming together as one. So that's the
Definitely.
thing. Like you said, unity,
Yeah.
unity is everything, especially in our city. That's something that we grew up on, so we should automatically have that. And
Yes.
we
You
can
know what I mean?
at a time like this. So, like once
Definitely.
again, I definitely enjoyed the interview tonight. I definitely
Thank
enjoyed
you so much.
the education. And once again, I'll be in touch. Thank
Most
you.
definitely. I'm here for it, man. I'm all here for it. And we're going to shut them down ideas too, because I'm not just a dream. I put action into it. Faith without works is dead. So let's get it, you know?
Okay, like I said, I definitely will be in touch. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming on Real Rap Graffiti tonight. This is your girl Micki, and we about to get off here for tonight. Thank you, Jaye.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
Later.